Garrett Blevins here with my last day of working out before I start the new Kingpin-RTS split. I threw in a couple of the videos today that I did. I did some pause squats. You'll see it here. This was beltless work, and I was just working on making sure I can get the depth with these SBD knee sleeves. They're thicker and definitely feel different than what I've used before. I was using some Titans, which are great knee sleeves, by the way. SBDs are better in my opinion, but Titans are still a really good product. But the beltless PR there with 505 felt pretty good. This bench, I noticed I touched a little low. I was still pretty explosive off the bottom, but I'm going to start working on touching maybe a little higher, breaking at the elbows first, and seeing if I can get more tricep strength into the press. But that'll be something I'm working on moving forward. But today I wanted to really put in a program overview of what I'm doing and what I mean by a Kingpin-RTS split. For those of you not familiar with the cube method or the cube kingpin, I'm not going to do a full review of that. What it comes down to is that each week you squat, bench, and deadlift, and you do those three lifts differently each week. And so normally it would take 3 weeks to cycle through. You do speed work on deadlift, say, rep work on bench, heavy on squats. The next week you would switch what you do heavy, what you do fast, and what you do for reps. After 3 weeks, you would have switched through all three of those. I've modified it slightly to have it in 2 4-week cycles. Weeks 1 through 4 are here at the top, and weeks 5 through 6 are at the bottom. Also, I have mixed and matched and put it upper and lower body all on the same days, so each day will be a full body workout. The third day there includes pause squats, dead stop benching, and conventional pulling. Those are the secondary assistance exercises from the Cube Kingpin. I kept the primary exercise and first assistance exercise on the respective days for deadlift and squat and bench that you see up above. On this third day, I'm going to be using RPE, volume protocol, for the first 4 weeks, and I'm going to be using intensity protocol for the last 4 weeks. I'll also lower my hypertrophy work with the assistance exercises that I use from the first 3, which will be 3 sets of 15, to probably 3 sets of 10. Now, what I mean by volume and intensity protocols is this chart here. This is taken from Mike Tushur's work with rate of perceived exertion, RPE, and you'll see it will go volume is 6 sets of 3, intensity is 3 sets of 3, or instead of 6 sets of 4, it's 4 sets of 2 or 2 sets of 4. And so the intensity protocols are going to be at a heavier rate of perceived exertion, but less sets and reps, less overall volume. And the volume protocols you're going to see there are as an 8 to a 9. That's about where you have about 4 reps left in the tank, whereas 9 to 10 is where you have 2 to 0 reps left in the tank. So you're either using lighter weight with more volume, or you're using heavier weight with less volume. So that's the difference. It's pretty straightforward when you get down to the basics of what it is. And it makes sense that as you get closer to when you are going to do a 1 rep max, you lower the amount of volume and you raise the weights to get your body ready. And so that's what I'll be doing with some of the assistance exercises, but all of day 3 will be entirely RTS based. And I'm looking forward to trying this out. I've done this once before, and I'm interested to see. I had good results then. This was what I did 2 cycles ago rather, and had some good results from it, better than what I had when I did just the Cube Kingpin. So it'll be an 8-week cycle, and I'll test on week 9. I should be able to fit 2 of these in before Nationals. Now, I wanted to comment, when I posted the 1,800 gym total that I did, there was some discussion back and forth on whether or not somebody that is natural, which means you're not on performance-enhancing drugs, including anabolic steroids, but not excluding some other things as well. And so is the progress I've been making possible? Well, it's certainly not normal. I know that, and I'm not under any persuasion that what I'm doing is what anybody could have happen if they followed the same process. I've seen people work harder, be more dedicated in their nutrition and their mobility work than I have, and not achieve the same results. Again, I always give glory to God. I don't know why I get strong fast, but I know that I do. That's been true when I was in high school, and people thought I was on steroids then. You don't see a lot of seniors in high school who can bench press over 400 pounds, and I could at just about 200 pounds body weight. And so you don't see that a lot, especially in such a short amount of training. I didn't really train with weights before high school, and pretty much every year I did. With my bench, for example, I went from 135 my freshman year to 235 my sophomore year to 335 my junior year and 405 my senior year. It just kept going, and it was at a pretty steady rate the whole time. Things have slowed since then. I only now, 6 years or so after high school, bench 455, but it's still a lot of good progress, especially for my body weight being the same for about, it's fluctuated about 25 pounds in the last 10 years. So it's been some slow, steady progress, but it's definitely been good lately since I picked up powerlifting. Nevertheless, I understand why people would be skeptical, and that's okay. I don't really take personal offense at that. I was thinking from their perspective, if I saw somebody doing what I'm doing, what would I think? And to be perfectly honest, I'd be questioning it. All that said, I wanted to share what's at stake for me personally in my mind. That lying is an abomination to God. Now, there's a difference between a lie that you might say right when you get caught. Maybe you lie and that's your first reaction. And that's understandable. People can make mistakes, especially if they're caught off guard. But a premeditated lie that you purposefully pronounce and work with and put out on YouTube and in writing and in your videos, that's a different sort of lie. And I believe that I'm going to be held accountable by God. Why? I guess my question for those that are skeptical about me is, why would I try to glorify God with something that God detests? Why would I try and profess myself to be a Christian and yet incur judgment upon myself? To me, it just doesn't make any sense why someone would do that. And it's not what I'm doing. And I understand the skepticism of people out there, and if people want to be skeptical, I do not expect to change anyone's mind. But what I do want, and what the point of this is to share what my personal beliefs are, especially about lying. I take that seriously for myself, not if people accuse me of it, but if I was doing it. That would be a serious thing for me. It wouldn't be a fringe issue, especially as I'm working now towards a master's degree in divinity. I plan to be a full-time pastor. Taking performance-enhancing drugs would jeopardize not only my lifting career, but it will also jeopardize my character and my integrity. And that's not something that I'm willing to put up there just to gain a few extra pounds. I thank you all for watching, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback from people out there as well. There's been a lot of that, and I just want to say blessings on everybody, and thanks for being part of the Iron family.